Welcome back to the regular exclusive podcast. And we're getting into the last couple months of the year. Q4 as the businesses call it. Or sorry, Q3. I'm dumb.
That's okay.
But of course, this is also movie season, big movie season. And so we got a lot of trailers to talk about. Renee, where should we start? Because we got a few.
Because it's me choosing, I'm going to say Crawlers, the spider horror film, which is the second spider horror film we're getting officially this year. And I'm just very happy that we're in a world where we're getting multiple spider horror films and a couple, like, I feel like we had in 2024, 2023, right? There was like two in that year. They're like keeping them fucking coming. I'm glad it's having a comeback. But Crawlers
what's the other spider movie that's coming out this year?
Oh, that one's called Don't Move. And that one is like the people who go on a church retreat out in the woods, and there's like a one giant ancient spider that starts hunting them, I guess.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. We talked about that one.
And then Crawlers looks like it is going to be not a comedy. It doesn't look like it's going to be funny at all. It's very unsettling. If you are an arachnophobe, I don't know. At least for me, I'm a huge arachnophobe, but this is the only kind of horror film that still gets a really strong reaction out of me, no matter how many I watch. So like, I will continue to watch. This is exactly my kind of shit. But if you can't handle it, don't even watch the trailer. The trailer is bad.
Dude, Crawlers looks awesome for me. Like, this feels right up the same lane as Infested, and this is an incredible trailer. Like the whole a spider crawling into your mouth while you sleep.
Yes, but didn't you notice a lot of the similarities in the trailer? I was like, this almost feels like they're making an American version of Infested.
It does kind of feel like that.
They even have that spinning shot down the like basement, like the really long hallway, and it's like covered in all the webs and all the spiders. And like they're infesting an apartment building and just like even crawling into the mouth. I mean, like that was kind of more in Sting. They had that great, really fucked up scene where like when it was little and it did that. But this one seems like it's like a lot of spiders, like similar to Infested, but it doesn't look like they're going to be getting bigger. It looks like they're about the same size, but there's just like a shit ton of them. So I mean, it looks like a nightmare. And honestly, I don't care if they're like Sebastian Vanacek actually posted on his story yesterday, I think, that he was like, I have nothing to do with this movie, Crawlers. This is not a remake. Like, just so you know, like it's not based on my stuff. So just so you know, I'm not involved. And I was like, okay, cool. And I'm here. Who am I to say that we can't have 2 or 3, if you count Sting, great spider apartment building horror films? I say the more the merrier. Let's do 5 more. I don't care. I'm never going to get over it. Like I'm always going to be into this concept.
Yeah, I mean, like it fits, and it's kind of one of those things where it's like there's only so many like settings for a storyline, and it's like it's okay if there's a little bit of overlap, because like we love Infested for just all of the spider stuff, but then also just all the technical stuff and like how, you know, immersive and intense it was. And like I would say Infested feels a little bit more like an action movie. Like it is a horror movie for sure, but like it's such a fast-paced thing the entire movie. And so Crawlers, like I thought the trailer for Crawlers was amazing, because I feel like everyone who has a fear of spiders like is scared of a spider crawling in their mouth. And then you remember when we were in school and like be like, oh, on average everybody, you know, eats at least 3 spiders a year while they're sleeping.
9, dude. It was not 3. I remember that.
I remember like people learning that and people freaking the fuck out.
I'm gonna duct tape my fucking mouth and nose shut. I'm never gonna fucking, like, I still get so scared about that. I don't think I sleep with my mouth open, but like the chick at the beginning of this one, she's like really opening her mouth, like snoring like fucking Nolan.
This is how you get people to buy CPAP machines. Is spiders.
Dude, fuck that. Can you imagine if a spider can get into like little tiny spaces? What if it got into your fucking CPAP machine? Or what if it was already in there and you put it on and then now it's trapped in there with you? I don't want to be trapped in there with it. Okay? It's not going to be trapped in there with me. It's definitely not going to see me as a threat. It will probably try to kill me. I know that's not really what they do, but like if I'm ever like going to see a spider Like it's gonna be a death match. Like it's whoever comes out alive. There's no way that both of us are walking away like peacefully, like, oh, you take that your side of the yard and I'll just be over here. No.
What was it? What was the spider that lived in your shower in high school?
It was back in high school, and he was just a daddy long leg, and I had to like a few of them over time. I called them like Bob
Harold
or Harold, Steve. I had different ones, but I just like would give them a name, and they stayed fucking way the hell away from me. And daddy long legs were like that's about the most spider I can handle and not freak the fuck out. If it's bigger than that, I'm like, oh my God. But then I just like nothing gets me scared. Like literally, I have goosebumps right now just talking about it. But spiders like are the only thing that like still makes me feel alive when I watch films because I feel like nothing else can get that kind of a reaction out of me unless it's like a jump scare in the theater. If I'm just watching at home, though, it will be like feeling like on the edge of a jump scare the whole movie. I mean, I still rewatch Arachnophobia all the time, and the whole time I'm doing that, I'm just like shaking, and I know what's coming. So like this one looks like it's gonna be a really stressful watch, but like nothing does that to me anymore except spider horror. So bring it on. I could watch all the spider horror and never get sick of it. So this one says it's coming out
October 16th.
Yeah, which that makes sense. I think actually I want to say Don't Move is also coming out in October, so that's even better. The same month, I don't care. Give me 5 spider horror movies per month and I'd be fine. So I'm glad that you also think this trailer looks good. I don't care if it's too similar to something else. Like there's room for more creature features no matter what the creature is, as far as I'm concerned.
And even if this is like a ripoff of Infested, if at the very least, if it's fun, if it's exciting, like I loved Infested as a movie and then also just like the entertainment and the story. Like I loved it. I don't need it to compete with Infested. I would love to walk out of this movie and be like, that was fun. I'm going to go home and rewatch Infested. Like I would love to be inspired to rewatch Infested. This movie honestly reminded me of Infested. I'm going to go rewatch Infested.
I would love to see, I mean, I feel like Sting might be kind of closer to it, but like I would love to see another like full on parody one, like Eight-Legged Freaks, because
yeah,
like
we haven't had that in a while.
It's such a good movie. It's one of my favorites of all time. It like has a little bit of scary shit. It's got Scarlett Johansson, first off, I guess second off, but also it's very, very fun. And they're like, what is that? And they're like, it's a spider, man. And then he's like, wait, what? And it's just so dumb. Like the name of it even was just like based off of a line that David Arquette improv, like, get away from me, you 8-legged freaks. And that's
I still hear title. His voice.
Yeah.
Screaming that as he's shooting the shotgun.
It's amazing. It's a great movie. And I feel like we need more. I would love to have some more. Although when you get spiders, they're really leaning into the horror of them. And when you do that, it's very hard to make jokes. People don't laugh. Even if you do, doesn't relieve the tension when there's something like that coming for you. So
all right. Well, the second trailer we got was, I'm so excited for this, Creep Tapes Season 3. Creep Tapes is maybe like one of my favorite series ever. Just especially like this year when like we have the back room, like we have YouTubers that are making movies and like where they started. Like Creep Tapes was kind of the prototype of this, where this guy just, Mark Duplass, who we know from The League and comedy, he's just like, I'm going to shoot a movie on my iPhone or on a whatever camera and just do it over a weekend or something. And then
they just
put
rented
it out
an
there.
Airbnb, just him and Patrick Bryce, and they've been doing they did the same formula for the second movie. And then they came up with like, because when you see in the first movie, you see all the tapes that he has.
Yeah.
Or maybe, it's the first movie or the second movie, either way. But when you see all those, you're like, holy shit. So they're like basically taking that concept and just expanding it. So they do 6 episodes. And I think it said that they only take like, I want to say, each episode takes like 3 to 4 days only to film. And they just
I feel like
Airbnb.
I feel like they've put out a season every year.
Yeah. So what they said, they just rent a property and they just shoot them throughout the year, just sporadically. And then that way they just like, have a property for a few days, then get a different one for like another week or two, or maybe next month, or just
And
occasionally.
some of them aren't even on a property. There's like that one episode in season 1 that's just in a field.
That's true. This actually, and then from the trailer, it looks like they're in New York City, like he's like in downtown, like Manhattan, or like by the in Times Square even. And you're like, okay, I love the idea of him going to the city. It looks like one of them was taking place on a plane.
Ooh. Oh yeah, like a private plane. Yeah.
Yeah, the locations just seem like I like when he pushes it and all the different stuff. I also just think Mark Duplass is just like the craziest, weirdest guy who just can do whatever he does in each episode. It's so bizarre and it always works. I don't care what it is.
I love whenever I get clips on Instagram or something of like Mark Duplass talking to like students, and like,
yeah,
even though I'm not a writer or anything, I'm inspired by him. He's just like,
oh, I know,
go do it. Like him talking about like why he didn't look for a production company, or he didn't look for all this stuff. He's like, it just bogs you down forever. Like, just go do it. And then I feel like that has been the inspiration for this new wave of the past 5 years of these YouTube people now getting into movies. They just went out and did it. They filmed stuff and put it on YouTube, and now it's getting picked up. And so Creep Tapes is amazing. I love it. I'm gonna rewatch the entire series because also it's such short episodes.
Like 15-20 minutes, and
each episode
is a different person. Like,
they're completely unrelated. There's not like a starting point. Like, all you need to know is Mark Duplass is a serial killer, and each episode is he's killing someone, and he's recording it because that's what he does. Like, that's his bit. Like, there's not a lot of like explanation that you need to have going into it.
No, and you like randomly will like meet people that like claim to be his mother or his like sister/wife, or like random people, and you're just like, all right, I'm rolling with it. I don't know. It's fucked up, but like those are very sporadic. And throughout most of it, it's just like you never even know. I mean, you might assume his name is Joseph because that's like from the first movie. And he goes back to it briefly, but like in the show, like once or twice. But like, I don't think that's his actual name, which is great. Everyone calls him Peach Fuzz because of the mask that he has and that he names. But it's great because like, he's just a different character every single episode, asking for someone to come film him, and then he murders them in a way.
Yeah.
And it's just really fun. It doesn't sound like it would be. It sounds like it'd be repetitive, but it's like the most delightful show.
It's so fun.
And it's like very like, I mean, the one, like there was one that starts with like him loading a body in the truck, and then the fucking cops show up, and then it's like, oh boy, what's gonna happen here? And I was like, this is just like incredible shit. I want to see what he does when the cops finding him load a fucking body in the car and how he gets away. That's exactly what I want from this show. They just really are doing a lot of unique stuff and always trying something new. They also have some guest stars this season that I thought would be worth mentioning.
Yeah, last season we had David Desmalchian.
Mm-hmm. And Josh Rubin.
Yep.
A couple others I'm sure I'm forgetting, but this season I'm super hyped that we have Kate Siegel. It looks like she'll be in the very first episode, which you will know her from the Mike Flanaverse.
Anything Mike Flanagan, you've seen her.
Yeah, Haunting a Hill House, all the haunting shows, Midnight Mass. And then the other two people that I thought was interesting because they've got horror credentials already. Elliot Fulham, who is in Terrifier, in the Terrifier movies, he plays the younger brother of Sienna. I forget his name right now, but good for him. I think that's cool. If fucking Mark Duplass is killing a kid now, like a teenager, like this is gonna be fun. I guess two teenagers, because the other guy that I was gonna call out is Nicholas Hamilton, who played the villain, the bully Henry Bowers in the It movies, in both of those. So they both have been in horror films before, and I'm excited to see what they do here because, like I could never have imagined what the David Desmalchian episode would be like. But my God, it was fucking incredible, and it just always is something unexpected. So, if you haven't seen it, literally the easiest fucking show to catch up on. It's streaming on Shudder already, and it seems like I think within the next 2 weeks is when it'll be out. So
it's September. So, and then we got a kind of extended trailer for Whalefall, which the teaser we really liked. We're like, okay, this guy's going to be trapped in a whale with an octopus that's trying to kill him at the same time. Squid. Excuse me.
Okay.
And this is kind of an extended thing of the trailer. We still don't get a lot of what's going on. We get more Josh Brolin in this, who's like a motivation kind of, that's his dad, right? In the movie.
Even though he says he doesn't know him at the beginning, it's like that's his dad. And it seems like he'll be having flashbacks to like things with his dad, and that will be the motivation that helps him like escape and like remember what to do. Which, like, if his dad specifically gave him instructions for surviving a whale, like getting swallowed by a whale, that'd be fucking crazy. I did see somebody comment, like one of the top comments I read, it was like 127 hours whale edition.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, totally. But a lot of people were saying, like, I've heard that the book is a similar kind of in tone to like 127 hours, but also like mixed with The Martian. So it's like kind of got a little bit, but I'm like, I don't know. The Martian, I mean, he's pretty fucking chill about being left on Mars. I don't think this guy's going to have that energy. I don't think there's going to be any moments where he's like, I'm making potatoes and like, you know, like I'm going to figure it out. Like I'm communicating. It's like,
I'm using my poop to grow stuff.
Yeah. It's like, there's that one shot of the fucking whale jumping out of the water, and it almost looked a little silly. Maybe it's not finished, but it was just like him in the mouth and him going like, help me. I was like, that seems a little much. Like no one's gonna hear that. Silly. But it does look really good still. I saw a lot more like kind of like reservations or being like, oh, I feel like they're giving away the whole movie like online. And I was just like, I mean, we know exactly what's gonna happen. It's gonna be the same
plot. The plot kind of tells you what is going to happen.
It's basically just like a few extra seconds, I feel like, or a few extra scenes from like added in from the first trailer. And it's basically the same stuff of like, yeah, he's trapped in the fucking whale, but he's also got to fight the squid, it looks like, which is like, man, that's crazy. Like, but maybe they're going to like throw hands at first, but then maybe they like have to team up and work together to get out of there. I'm not sure how it works. I feel like I would love that.
I feel like this genre of survival movies, like the plot doesn't, like survival movies don't have a lot of twists. It's more just like we all know the goal of the movie is we watch this person survive, and how do they do it? So
it'd be great if he just didn't survive at the end.
That would be crazy. Like
127 hours, but he just chickens out halfway through.
It would have
bleeding out and dies.
It would have to be someone from Europe. It would have to be a European movie where they go bleak like that.
Like, yeah, honestly, Americans couldn't handle that right now, especially. But you're right. That's so funny.
I'm curious from the trailer, like how they're going to kind of like format the movie, because I would imagine he's going to get eaten by the whale pretty early in the movie, and then he's going to have flashbacks throughout the movie to like, you know, like you're saying, like remember how to survive this thing. But then there is that one part in the trailer where it says you have 60 minutes of air, and I got this hint of like, are they just going to like do all the flashbacks up front, like the first 30 minutes is all setting up his character, and then he gets in the whale, and then it's 60 minutes of him in the whale? Like
no. So from what I'm guessing, based on like typical movies like this, I'm assuming 30 minutes in is or maybe 20 minutes 30 minutes in is when he's going to get swallowed by the whale, and that's probably when we're going to get our title card drop, like a late one with Whalefall, because like why would you put that up at the beginning? Yeah, he's going to get swallowed, probably 20 minutes, I would say, maybe 30 if we're extending it a little bit. And then you have a full hour of 60 minutes, and it'll actually work out. But even if he's remembering memories, I think that will still factor into the time, and it'll be okay.
Okay.
But maybe they do like, 15 to 20 minutes until he gets swallowed, and then they have a little over an hour left.
Yeah.
And like spice in, because I'm pretty sure the format of the book that it's based on is similar, where people are like, he's not just stuck in the whale for like the whole half of the book. It's like he's remembering things. And I was like, I feel like you're gonna have to do that in the movie, because it would be, I mean, just the trailer is extremely claustrophobic. Like I don't know how that will be really an intense experience. I feel like it'll be very similar to like just like a really long extended version of the scene from Nope when everyone gets digested.
Yeah.
And I'm nervous. It's like it looks like he was like getting to the stomach or some shit. And like, is he going to come out the whale's butthole? I don't know. I've seen people posting like fucking the gif from Ace Ventura 2 when he's coming out the rhino's ass. And I'm like, I really hope it goes out the blowhole. I imagine that would happen.
It'll be like Shawshank Redemption when he's crawling through the sewers and just throwing up in the bag.
Or what? Yeah, it's definitely not gonna. I know this movie's not gonna have a twist, but I was like, wouldn't it be funny if his dad was alive inside the whale at the end and he wasn't really dead, or his dad like became the whale in the afterlife? I don't know.
Oh man, that would be the twist of all twists. Like, what if the twist is at the beginning of the movie? The plot is actually he is going to find the whale that swallowed his dad. He's intentionally trying to find the whale,
track it, and see if he can like kill it. But then it's like, oh shit, it's feeding. It's like Moby Dick, but then you just throw in like. But then and then Pinocchio a little bit, but his dad Geppetto's in the whale already. So, I mean, it could be a fun twist. I don't know. I've never read the book, so I'm just making shit up. But like, that would be pretty fucking funny, and that would be adding some time if they need to pad the time a little bit.
That's true.
Like, then he can directly give him advice. Although that probably wouldn't be as emotionally powerful. It would take away a lot of the dad helped me out before he died and. Even though hopefully it wasn't just specific instructions on how to deal with being swallowed, but like his survival techniques or whatever is what helps him get out. That makes more sense emotionally.
I mean, as ridiculous as it would be, I would be really happy if I went in and watching this movie and then I learned the twist of this movie is that it's actually a revenge story. He's hunting the whale.
This is like, that would be like if this movie was on the Sci-Fi Network or something. That would be the story.
It was directed by Michael Bay. Like
exactly. And I would absolutely watch that film. I feel the same way as I did about Crawlers. Like we can have multiple of these things. I don't care. Give me all your different interpretations of this. But I also saw a great comment. This someone was like, is this movie going to be part of the Moonfall franchise? Like, is this the sequel? I was like, that's hilarious because that was that really shitty movie a few years ago where the moon was like crashing into the earth. Did you see that shit?
No, I heard it's I've heard it's the greatest bad movie ever made.
No, it's definitely not the greatest bad movie ever made, but it's like up there. It's in the realm because like the ending is definitely one of those horrible endings, but like it's just ridiculous. But I would love if that was another twist at the end of this. We're adding too many twists to Whalefall. It's great as it is, but I love this. Like, how can we make it shittier? Tell us if you have any ideas in the comments that we didn't hit.
That should be a segment where like, how can we make this movie shitty? Like, how can we ruin this?
Or like
movie?
just trashier, like because like especially we should do the whole episode on that with like drama films, like the Oscar films. Like, how could I make this watchable for me? What do I need to add to the plot or change about it? I think that'd be fun.
I already know the answer for you. It's just put Keanu Reeves in it.
No, that would make it so that I don't watch it.
I thought that was the point. How do you make it shitty?
Oh, I'm saying like, well, I was just saying like, I like movies that are a little trashier than like, the Oscar films.
Oh,
like
okay.
That could be a good one of like, what would get me to fucking watch this movie? This seems like it's so boring or like a meditation on life. Like I just don't watch drama films. Okay. And Keanu Reeves would make me run in the opposite direction. I love the guy. I know he's nice. I know he's a lovely person. I'm sorry. He cannot act and there's no... Why are we all pretending that he can? It's just ridiculous.
Well, the last movie, which we don't need to make shitty, because I am extremely excited for it. It's coming out next week, but we got the final trailer, I'm assuming, for the movie Buddy that we are calling the Barney horror movie.
Yeah, basically.
And it's
great.
It's directed by Casper Kelly, and which is the guy who did the Yule Log movie. He did my favorite segment from which VHS was that? Was that the last one?
VHS Halloween. Yep. And he did the fun size segment where like they have like the villains were made of candy, and it was so fucking funny.
Yeah, and like this is a guy who just like I've watched several of his things, Also, apparently,
he wrote Mandy. Is this the fact you're looking at right now?
I was looking.
I'm losing my shit.
He didn't write Mandy. He wrote the commercial in Mandy, the Cheddar Goblin. I saw that, and then I remembered. No, he didn't write Mandy. He wrote that infomercial that's in that movie.
That makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
But this, is playing like a TV show too. I feel like that's just like his jam, and I love that.
Yeah, and he also did this show called Your Pretty Face is Going to Hell. It's on HBO Max. It's fucking hilarious. It's amazing.
Oh, cool.
It's like
great.
it's like if hell was a corporate company and he's an employee at it. And
Sounds accurate.
It's so funny, but yeah, I just love this dude's creativity. And I was a Barney kid growing up, so like I have to watch this.
Yeah,
and it like the trailer and the teaser, they don't tell you anything. It's a little surprising. Like the trailer right before the movie comes out is kind of supposed to give you the plot. And
I'm glad they're withholding because they don't show Buddy like in villain form, like attacking or murdering anyone, which I'm assuming he does. So like that's perfect. Don't show me that. That's the reason that people want to come see this movie is like, I've heard it's insane and I want to see this in the theater. It's gonna be so fun. And also Keegan-Michael Key is voicing Buddy. So first off, that's incredible. It also has Topher Grace, Kristen Milioti, who we love from
everything. But she was in the Penguin show.
The Penguin show, and then Palm Springs. Good. Yeah. And then Topher Grace, Patton Oswalt, which we love Patton Oswalt, and then Michael Shannon, who I still think obviously he's an incredible actor and like he has so many good performances, but I still just love him as the drug dealer in The Night Before. And he's just the funniest guy because he's like also the ghost of Christmas past and all that, and like future and present, but it's all related to weed. He's like the funniest dude ever, and he is going to be in this as Charlie the Train and Willie the ventriloquist doll. So like two roles, we're eating good.
So is he the voice? Like Keegan-Michael Key is a voice in this, so he's not in it, but he's the voice. I wonder if Michael Shannon is a voice. I mean, it doesn't say voice because it does say Patton Oswalt. Patton Oswalt is the voice of Strappy, who is a backpack, but it doesn't say that he's doing the voice. But I imagine maybe he's doing mocap. That's why. Maybe.
It says that they had somebody else do that for Buddy the Unicorn.
I just remember Michael Shannon when they brought him back for the Flash movie, that really bad movie with Batman in it and stuff. And I just remember seeing an interview of him and him just being like, I thought my character died, but I mean, I came back and I worked for like 5 days and I just left. Like I can imagine him like signing up for this movie and not know what's going on at all. He's like, I'll read the lines, I'll do the voice.
He's so goddamn good, and he like is one of those actors that I'm like, he deserves all the Oscars and he needs to like win one. But like he's so funny when he does comedy. So the fact that he's in this really excites me so much more. As I had no idea until looking at this full cast list.
The thing that I'm also really excited by is the other writer. So Casper Kelly, he's one writer. The other writer, he's like a very serious writer. Like he wrote all the episodes of the Marvel Jessica Jones show on Netflix, which is all about like
that one.
Abuse and like trauma. It's like really dark. So I love the idea of these two guys putting their heads together for this Barney movie that I feel like is going to be really fucked up. And I'm really excited by it.
That's crazy. Okay, if you want to get in the right vibes for this, I would also recommend checking out this 2024 film that's on Hulu, and it feels like it's in the same vein, but it's called Mr. Crockett, and it's like a murderous TV show host. And it's really good. I just watched it. I was so surprised, like from the opening, like how much gore is in the film. The practical effects were pretty incredible. But it's basically like a paranormal, like, children's TV host that can like draw the kids into their world and murders their parents when they're mad or when they're not good parents. And then he like keeps them in his world. I don't know, but he's like kind of like Mr. Rogers, but like a more fucked up version.
Okay.
And he's got all these weird creatures that are like the furniture in his place, and they're all like demonic looking. Like it's just got cool creature design, but it feels like that would be a good one to watch before, because Buddy will probably make this one like blow it out of the water. But like this feels like a good one. Like maybe Mr. Crockett came out and then that's why we were able to greenlight Buddy. I don't know, but
there we go.
It's a good one to watch if you're waiting, because I think it comes out in like 2 weeks. Buddy does.
Buddy comes out next weekend, so the last weekend of August.
Yeah. So
Yep.
color me hyped.
All right, let's take a little break and then get into the invite.
What is this?
That's a rug.
Did you buy this rug because the neighbors are coming?
Oh my God. Joe, you remember Peanut Hawk?
Bit of a contentious environment in here, so I
We
understand.
love a contentious environment.
She's fine, but he is a fucking weirdo.
You know, they seem cool. And she's so pretty.
Have you got tequila?
Joe, put on some music.
What kind of music you into, Hawk?
What is Sade?
What is
She loves
Sade?
that.
We only get a few chances for meaningful relationships in life.
What is going on here? This is fucking crazy.
Can we please do a reset?
Is this from a podcast?
Yes, it is.
We did come down here tonight to invite you.
Invite us.
To join us.
Us.
Me too.
Sorry, we don't have people over very often.
All right, let's talk about the invite. What a surprise, out of nowhere movie that I fucking loved.
I'm so glad you did too, because I fell in love with this movie pretty quick. Like, I feel like it's one of those movies where, I mean, I guess if you don't vibe with it, you'd know pretty quick. But like, yeah, you lock, if you're gonna be into it, you know pretty quick. Like, we both, Nolan and I watching this, we locked the fuck in right away.
Same.
And like, we were just like, I'm not doing anything else. I just want to watch this movie. And it's such a weird energy, which is a great, like, I guess, word, because that's what they talk about in the movie, the energy in here, and how to capture energy as if that's a thing we could do. But I feel like the energy of this movie is like such like a balancing act. It's like so hilarious and incredibly funny, but also incredibly dark and emotional, and like really emotionally charged, and just like this kind of beautiful love story too. But like, underneath all this anger and hate, it's crazy. But it, like, the tension keeps building. There's humor relieving you all the time, but I feel like you don't ever actually let go of any tension, no matter, like, I think it's a rare movie because you're laughing even though it's increasing the tension.
Yeah, this kind of reminded me of like watching reality TV. Like when you get a really good episode of reality TV where like something happens where like it's real juicy gossip and everyone's like locking in, like, oh my God, what? They're fighting. This is happening. You said what? Like, that's what it felt like. And it was made. I'm a big reality TV fan. So like, as soon as this gets going and we see the couples arguing and fighting, and also very like, it feels like a very real relationship. I was like, oh, this is off to a great start. And then it never let up. The whole movie, just like it kept escalating. It kept getting weirder. I kept wondering, like, wait a second, is this going to happen? And then it does happen. It was great. But I was going to ask you, so they must have started like working on this not long after Olivia Wilde's episode of The Studio, right?
Yeah, like that was actually, I guess, like the reason that she wanted to cast him. And like, honestly, they're like bickering in that episode.
Yeah.
Where like, and it's just so funny because she also gets to poke fun at herself. But like, it was just such a great bit. And like talking about how she's like, you know, trying to shoot on film and she's stealing a little bit, but like gonna throw the rest away. So they got to redo it all. It's so fucking good. And I love the fact that she cast him off of that. And I think what a lot of people mentioned about this movie was that like, wow, like Seth Rogen can really act. Like this movie, I think really was great for him and pushed him into a new arena, which like he's already, I think, a really great craftsman. And we all know that. And he's so funny. And like, I think he's really smart. And I think we know that because he like directs and writes, right? And like The Studio is kind of like that. But this was like a really incredible acting performance from him. And that was very different from anything we've ever seen. And I think they're like them working together on The Studio was definitely the catalyst of her being like, do this. But it sounds like the like all Edward Norton and Penelope Cruz and Seth Rogen, like she said they bullied her into directing. They were like, you have to do it. Her and Seth Rogen, I think early on were like, we're going to collaborate on this. But he's like, basically every time she suggested someone else, I just turned her down. And I said, no, that's not going to work. So he basically was like, I just made it so that she had to do it. And I was like, amazing. I love that. Yeah, they have like a really, I think you could tell their friendship, like just from the way that they bicker and the way that they have this crazy chemistry that like works, even though they like fight a lot in the things that they've been in. They just have a chemistry that seems very natural. And like you were saying, it feels like a reality TV show. Like this, everyone's talking over each other. And like, it feels authentic. The characters, the conversations, the relationships, like everything about this movie. I think there's so many amazing things, but like 100% what you were saying, that like everybody just felt like real fucking people and not like scripted at all. Like it felt like one of the most organic films I've ever watched.
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting. Like, so like Seth Rogen directed their episode of The Studio. And then in this, she's directing this time. And I mean, shout out to Olivia Wilde. She directed the fuck out of this movie. Like,
she really did.
For a movie that essentially has a cast of 4 people in one place, it's crazy. Like how engaging this movie is, and like how you explore like the entire apartment, and you never feel like, oh, we're still in the apartment. Like the whole movie just flows, even though it's all in one place. It was amazing. Like the shots that they did where like they were all talking to each other, but the camera would put someone in the middle of the frame. And then rather than someone else being in the frame, it would just cut to the next person in the middle of the frame. Like it created like distance between the characters. That was so interesting. It just stood out to me. And I was like, God damn, Olivia Wilde. Like,
dude, you're 100% right when you say she directed the fuck out of this movie. That's like accurate as fuck, because like this story seems so basic that like you'd think like this could be just a really good stage play. Like, you know, you can easily do this on stage. But the way that she does the blocking, the way that she does the composition of each shot, the way that like your eyes are drawn to specific things, and the way that the apartment is basically like the 5th character, it feels so much like that's the power of like film cinema versus a play. You couldn't do that justice. And like the apartment is so fucking important to the story and really is like a great metaphor for everything. And the way that they use the windows and like looking at each other through the windows is just fabulous. But you and I think, are 2 people who have been defending Olivia Wilde since Don't Worry, Darling. Like she came out the gate with Booksmart. Honestly think it was a great thing for her to like, not the fact that like, I don't think Don't Worry, Darling sucked. I liked that movie a lot, and Florence Pugh was amazing. And her directing was incredible. But I will say, like, I think it's good that like the critics hated it and she kind of went through like a flop failure early, because, you know, it's tough enough when you're like right out the gate, you have an incredible film. Like the expectations are always fucked. Like just look at Jordan Peele and everyone's like, oh, Us is terrible compared to Get Out. But you're like, it's not about comparing. Let's just fucking let an artist be an artist, you know? But you and I have been defending her for a long time. I feel like this is something that she said was like, this let her just be like, not buy into this whole thing of like, you're, you know, an ingenue in film and like, you're just so talented. It wasn't like, you know, she's on this winning streak and later down the line, she's going to have a failure and then like totally fall apart. Like she said it really made it feel more free for her and like opened up this thing of like, well, yeah, I'm going to take the chance because who knows what it's going to be. And that's really what I think every director should be doing. So,
yeah, it's crazy. Like in my book, she is 3 for 3 on great movies. Like,
same.
Every like the 3 movies, Booksmart, Don't Worry, Darling, and this, they're all great. In my letterbox, they're all 4 stars, like at least 4 stars. Like they're great movies. Don't Worry, Darling had a lot of baggage, just like the press around it, you know. But Don't Worry, Darling was a very successful movie, just monetary wise. But it was also interesting, you know. When they were doing press for Don't Worry, Darling, they had that whole thing with the divorce her getting the divorce papers like on stage
From
and
Jason Sudeikis.
from Jason Sudeikis. And Jason Sudeikis went on and did Ted Lasso, which is like one of the best shows ever made. And so I think a lot of people just picked a side based off, the thing that came out. And Don't Worry, Darling is a great movie, but Ted Lasso is just like a wide appeal, show that is written and made by my favorite creator of all time, Bill Lawrence. So like, it's going to be a great show. And yeah, like, I think you're right. Like, I think it's been 4 years since Don't Worry, Darling. And it feels like Olivia Wilde is just taking a step back, breathed a little bit, and did this very small movie versus like Don't Worry, Darling was a pretty, like, scale wise, it was a pretty big movie.
Yeah.
And Booksmart was also very small, but like it feels like she kind of went back to her roots and just like, hey, let's just get 4 people that can do a whole movie together, that have great chemistry. And also the fact that she casted Penelope Cruz, Edward Norton, Seth Rogen, like it's such a random movie that you don't expect to be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're like, oh, this would be a fun watch, and you're like locked in the whole movie. And she was amazing. Her face throughout the entire movie, I was dying. Her expressions, like,
oh my God, literally, I was about to say, Olivia Wilde in this movie, like, on top of like doing such an incredible job as a director, the fact that she also turns in one of the best performances, probably her best performance ever, but like definitely like one of the performances I'm still thinking about all the time. And just because the way that she is so, like, I can't even describe how many times, like, okay, so Nolan mentioned this and I thought it was like weirdly insightful for him. He mentioned this early on in the movie. And if you rewatch it, if you didn't notice this before, but he was like, this movie's all about the reactions. Like, when someone else is talking, I've just been watching everyone else's faces. And I'm like, 1,000% me too. Wow. Like, you never say anything. He never comments on movies like, oh, that was good or that's stupid. But like, that was so like accurate in this movie. I think the way that she directed it, but also like the fact that literally everyone's faces in the background are never going to waste is just something incredible. But Olivia Wilde and like her souffle, the way that she just, the physical comedy alone, when she's like squatting in front of the oven, and then when she just like fucking like, and then when she like goes into the kitchen and just like grabs in one swift move, grabs the souffle and just like throws it right in the garbage, like while they're all walking in there, and just pretends to like they're all gonna just ignore it. And it's so fucking great because she's been talking it up all day, or at least at the beginning with Seth Rogen, and then she just tosses it straight in the trash because it's burnt. Like, honestly, I think we all knew she could be funny, but like, maybe I think this movie is maybe more what people wanted as a next step for her, if you think about it, like, because I feel like maybe the full swing to like full on like a drama film, people weren't like, maybe get your footing there first before like this movie feels like it's combining a lot of different genre elements and like kind of showcasing that, like, obviously, yes, she nails it with the comedy and the style, the direction and all that. But like this movie adds in like the tension that's very new and actually similar to Don't Worry, Darling. But like it incorporates the emotional storyline and the feelings and like the character building and all this other stuff that like is more expansive than Booksmart. And it feels like maybe if this was the bridge movie between Booksmart and then Don't Worry, Darling, maybe people would have handled it better. But like, I also kind of feel, and tell me if I'm wrong, maybe it's just because I'm a woman, but like, I feel like people are really hard on female directors that like make films about female empowerment. I don't know why. I just feel like the critics always are like, this movie's trash because they're just saying like female empowerment and women deserve things. And I'm like, I mean, based on how society is going, I feel like those are pretty good things that we should be reminding people of and not criticizing them.
Oh, if there's anything that Olivia Wilde is like a genius at, it's triggering the idiot right-wing people. Like, no matter what, like between this, Booksmart, and Don't Worry, Darling, she knows how to trigger those idiots, and she's incredible at it. But, like, yeah, I mean, Booksmart is, I mean, first off, Olivia Wilde is an incredible comedy director. Like she
Yeah.
knows how to do comedy. She has that ability, which is hilarious. I think about when I first saw her on House.
Yeah,
I would
she's so good on that.
I would like, she's a stoic character. Like I would
Yeah.
never have expected this. But like Booksmart is like this very funny, but also like endearing coming of age story. And then you have Don't Worry, Darling, which is like this thriller with kind of a weird sci-fi kind of twist at the end. You know, it doesn't totally land, but the movie as a whole is still very good.
I mean, honestly, I feel like in 5 years' time, when we're all like living the nightmare world that is Don't Worry, Darling, we're all going to be like, "Ah, yeah, maybe everybody owes a big apology to Olivia Wilde." Because I feel like there's a lot of guys out there that would definitely be fucking signing up for this service if it existed.
Hey, speak for yourself. I'm going to be fine. If anything, I'll try and start a different virtual revolution to free the women that are
Thank you.
enslaved.
That's good to know that we have you as an ally, Jace. And I'm glad. Because if you didn't say that, then everyone would be pretty concerned listening to this podcast right now.
You know, Sarah, she would never. She would never. If she smelt a hint of that on me, she would never be with me.
You throw hands. I know. I would too.
But yeah, and then
you're right.
and then you come to this, and I think you're right. Like this feels like a mixture of those two movies, where it has the tension of Don't Worry, Darling, but then it has the hilarious comedy of
full on
Booksmart.
comedy the whole time. Like, I mean, and it's kind of funny because I feel like Booksmart, when we talked about it, we were like, this feels like the female Superbad, right?
Yeah.
And it's great that like she's combined forces with Seth Rogen, who obviously is the creator of Superbad. So it just feels like natural that this would be like one of the funniest things for both of them to be in, like that I've ever seen. Like their comedic, like whatever they got on their own combined feels like the power has like increased a lot in the comedy power here. Plus, then you add Penelope Cruz, who is really great, but I would say Edward Norton, who we know can do comedy roles, but like really just all of them really work together. But like Olivia Wilde and Seth Rogen to me are like the beating heart of like everything in the movie, and those two, like I really do feel like this is maybe. Like, yeah, maybe if it just came out before that, people would be more cool. I think in a few years, I think Don't Worry, Darling will still be a cult classic. I don't worry about it because it's got fucking Florence Pugh in it. Okay, everybody, shut up.
I just want to point out, Don't Worry, Darling was not a flop. Don't Worry, Darling made a lot of money. It was a very successful movie. It just had all the media stuff. It had the Harry Styles spitting on Chris Pratt, not Chris Pratt, Chris Pine.
If he spit on Chris Pratt, he would have been a fucking American hero. I feel like people.
We would have got another Eternals movie.
Yeah, and you know what is funny about that is like, well, at least I feel like the shitty part about all the timing of that is like, Don't Worry, Darling, sadly was just like tanked by Jason Sudeikis weirdly becoming America's sweetheart at the wrong time. With Ted Lasso. Like
that's the power of a mustache.
That's what's nuts. And now he's like Ted Lasso's over. People are like, hey, wow, Olivia Wilde's great. So honestly, this feels like a really great showing from her in general. But like you were saying, like this is such a movie that you don't expect to be so incredible on so many levels. Like it's so impressive, and that like I didn't think when I saw The Odyssey, I was like, this feels like a top contender for like not movie of the year. That's not an award, but for me at least, I was like, this feels like, I'd feel comfortable with this winning Best Picture, like whatever, because it felt like a really like a lot of incredible shit. But this feels like, I hope this movie gets fucking recognition. I hope Olivia Wilde gets nominated multiple times, but like directing, I want this film like getting a lot of Academy Award nominations, basically, or I'm gonna be fucking pissed.
Yeah, it needs to sweep the Golden Globes and
the Oscars.
I mean, I don't have faith in the the Academy. I don't have faith in the Academy to do it.
Let's be positive. Let's
speak
this and manifest it into reality. Okay, so we're gonna say I want it to win all the Oscars too. Jace, just fucking say it. If you don't say it, I'm gonna get mad.
I agree with you. It should, because this movie we just talked about our like top 3. This is now in my top 3. Like
100%.
I love this movie, and one of the Oscars I think for sure it needs to be nominated for, if not win, is the score.
Yes, the score is so well done in this movie. My God.
It reminded me so much of the studio where like I felt like it wasn't a recorded thing. I felt like there was an orchestra there reading the
Live
room
band.
and just just reading the room, playing what they were feeling.
Kind of a 70s soundtrack too. Like you feel like a 70s movie. Like that's similar to how like that kind of a score would be in like the studio definitely is inspired by that too. And I love the fact that like the live band with it just really adds to the tension.
Like,
and it's great. It's a similar energy, you're right, to the studio where like they balance that tension and comedy. It's
like,
way more comedy, but like
so
they can
dynamic.
put there too. Yeah. And I think the music is like half of it. And it's like especially because like sometimes the dialogue doesn't reflect the tension that really is in the room. And like the fact that like the music underlying it like really is like so powerful in this film. I just can't even like literally every element. The fact that like Olivia Wilde's shirt is literally the exact same color as like the fucking like painted walls is incredible. And they did that on purpose. So she like disappears into the like home that she decorated. And I was like, all these little details are so crazy because they only shot this, I think, for like 21 days. But they rehearsed it for like, I think 4 weeks or 6 weeks. They all the cast worked without pay and like practiced and worked together. And they shot it like in order from start to finish. And like, which is something that you really don't do. And they shot it on fucking film, which is like great because that's the whole bit in the episode that she did in the studio where they're like, it's so goddamn expensive.
Yeah, it's funny. One of the things that Sarah does when we watch movies is she's like obsessed with colors. And so she always notices colors in a movie and the meaning of things. And she pointed all that stuff out that you were saying, like the shirt matches. He's wearing this color, which means he's always truthful. And Seth Rogen's character is always telling the truth, except for that one time. And so it's funny that you mentioned that. Yeah, I mean, let's talk about Seth Rogen a little bit. I'm not going to say this with a lot of gusto, but this might be the funniest Seth Rogen has ever been to me.
I agree.
He was hysterical. Like he was so much of like he was still like himself. He's very much Seth Rogen, but like
the Seth Rogen laugh, like always.
He's one of those actors that should never try to do an accent because he can't do it. That
when
laugh,
he voiced Pumbaa
that
in
laugh.
The Lion King, I was so glad that he had just the regular Seth Rogen voice. I was like, if he's trying to do a warthog voice, it ain't gonna be pretty.
But
he's got to just be himself.
Yeah, but like his reaction, like you were saying, his reaction to everything was so funny, and like him and Olivia Wilde, it reminded me. I don't know if this is the case for you and Nolan, but like me and Sarah, like Sarah, she will like stress about things, like she'll get anxious and like getting things ready. People are coming over. I don't have a care in the world. It's so like
the same that
whole dynamic, like them preparing. You forgot the wine. You didn't text me about the wine. I did. I was riding the fucking bike. Like,
yeah, I can't check my phone while I'm on that godforsaken thing. So good. The whole thing of like the whole movie starting with like him like getting the bike out and like fucking huffing it home was just really good comedy itself. But you're right. And the fact that he also just lays down on the ground immediately after entering the house and then he's like, oh, like, can we just not do this? I will say his reactions, his faces and his commentary, like everything that he said killed me. I think my favorite, there's so many good lines in this movie, but I will say I think my favorite has to be when they're talking about the older woman or the woman Vanessa, like how old is she? They're like, oh, she's older. And he's like, they're like, how old? And they're like, oh, I don't know. And he's like, well, next time you're inside, why don't you just count the rings?
Yes, that was
like fucking great. And a lot of people are like I feel like I heard that one was pretty huge in the theater, like a big laugh. But the other one was when Penelope Cruz kisses Olivia Wilde, and then she just says, Olivia Wilde just goes, namaste. Best thing Never do. So good, but like literally, I do think like almost every reaction and Seth Rogen, his physical comedy on top of that, like I hope he never. I mean, I'm sure eventually he won't be able to do it because it'll probably like kill him. Like he'll really have a back problem for real.
Yeah.
But he definitely like him falling over and like physical comedy, like they do that a lot on the studio, and I just love the fact that it carried over into this movie so much. He's just like the funniest. I've always thought he's one of the funniest people ever, but this was just such an. I hate to use the word because we were just making fun of it in Scary Movie 6, but like this feels like an elevated comedy for him to like kind of showcase what else he can do.
Oh,
in addition to the emotional beats, right? But like his comedy here just feels like it's at a higher level than it's ever been before.
Seth Rogen is one of those guys that like when I was younger and I saw Superbad, I was like, oh, that's a funny stoner guy. Like that's like I'm forgetting other stoner comedians, but he's like his bit is being a stoner guy. But then like as time has gone on, he is like an incredible creative force. Like he's behind The Boys. He's done animated stuff with like Invincible, which I love.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's involved in so many different things.
The studio is like
the studio
masterpiece.
Like him and his partner,
Evan Goldberg.
They are incredible together, and like it's not just like clearly, oh, it's just one of them. Like it's a collaborative thing, but like they are both equally brilliant, and
totally. But it's so funny that always
and his ability to be so stupid and also like so smart at the same time is wild. It's like
it's not like he's too smart or anything. You could tell like the real, like we know Seth Rogen behind the camera, and like the real Seth Rogen is like really smart, but he's so good at playing dumb that like it still works because like we still know that he's like actually behind these things, like you were saying. And like I always think of that fucking joke from I think it was the James Franco roast where they're like, if Seth Rogen's the face of the duo, God, what does Evan Goldberg look like? It's like, yeah, like if that guy is your fucking like the face of the duo, it seems a little interesting. But
well, like Seth Rogen, his reactions, and he had incredible chemistry with Edward Norton, and just like the tension that they. But like when they're like when Seth Rogen like gets home and he's on the floor, and then he gets up and like he hears the whole thing, he's like. He has that line. He's like, there's a souffle and there's 200 pounds of cheese. Is there something going on? Like,
yeah, exactly. He's so good. I think like, I mean, he just has his chemistry with Edward Norton is out of control. I agree. But like it's just so great that like they like the way that he just like responds to everything that fucking Edward Norton says. He just like you can tell he's like just being a dick because he's like, oh yeah, those new neighbors, I love them because they don't talk, they leave me alone, it's great, like they don't talk, those small talk in the elevator. They're like, Edward Norton's like, oh yeah, really, that's weird, we talk to them all the time. He's like, oh yeah, I'm sure, I bet they talk to you. Like, that's weird. How weird. It's just like every little element of it is just great. And also like I love that Edward Norton loves him, and he's like, I love your honesty, dude. But it's like, it's just a great relationship. I think it works. And when you get the right dynamic, like one guy like hating the other one and the other one like wanting to be like his buddy and really liking him, is just like, it just always works. But in this scenario, like Edward Norton is just such a strange character that like, it's just, in general, Seth Rogen is amazing. But I feel like him in this whole movie, like, I think like obviously he's probably like, we all knew he was like good at improv, but like he's very natural in this role with the emotional stuff at the end. Like when it gets serious, he doesn't like, falter. But I think his scene with like Penelope Cruz, I saw like an interview and he was saying that like that was like, it just what he kept saying over and over when they were shooting that scene was just thank you so much. And then like Olivia Wilde was like, why are you saying that so much? He's like, I don't know, it's just what's coming to me. And I'm like, he's just like, this is amazing. Like I don't know if he's thanking Olivia Wilde, the director, for like putting him in this situation, so he's like dancing with Penelope Cruz in her bra. but like he just kept saying thank you throughout that like whole little scene. It was just really delightful.
That whole scene, I was like, Seth Rogen is not acting. He is just expressing. He is living in the moment where Penelope Cruz is trying to seduce him.
Yeah.
And he's just there with it. Because in the whole swinger scenario, which we should
we'll
get to the swinger.
Basically a swinger, but
in the whole swinger scenario, in this whole foursome, Seth Rogen is winning. Because I would say like Olivia Wilde and Edward Norton, they are both like attractive, traditionally attractive, like human beings. And then you have Penelope Cruz and Seth Rogen. Seth Rogen, you're a genius. We love you. I think even you would admit you're not quite the caliber of Penelope Cruz or Olivia Wilde or Edward Norton, but you are winning.
He's winning. That's why he just kept saying thank you. And that's also why one of my little, like the bits, and I think like just the way that he kept asking once they finally get down to the whole swingers invite and like talking about like, let's do it. And it's like, and he just says, okay, wait. So like you and her and me and me too. And he just keeps asking. And he's like, okay, so all four of us, like me as well. Like, and they're like, yes, you too. Like you're going to be included. That would be, yep, you too. And he's just like, okay, just making sure. And I just feel like a lot of guys would do that. And I feel like he's very aware. He's like, that's why I just keep saying thank you and dancing with Penelope Cruz. And it was just delightful. And you're right. Like Olivia Wilde could pull Edward Norton in real life.
Yeah.
Like obviously.
Olivia Wilde's gorgeous.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like, yeah, Seth Rogen, I mean, he was already pulling high above his weight with fucking Olivia Wilde. And now with Penelope Cruz, you're like, now this is insane.
Yeah.
Now this is just like, that's why he has nothing else on his brain when he's shooting that scene. It's just thank you. And I love that they left it in the movie. It's delightful.
So, all right, so let's get to the whole swinger thing. Did you watch any like promo for this movie at all? I went in with nothing other than I've heard this movie was really good. And like halfway through the movie, I'm like, are they going to try and swing with them?
I kind of thought that, I mean, I heard that this possibly was a swingers movie, or that was what the invite referred to, but like I didn't know anything else. And then when I saw the movie,
I thought the invite was inviting the neighbors over.
Yeah, that makes sense. The trailer kind of doesn't say it, but like hints at it. And so I kind of picked that up. And then I think when I read about it, they were like, this is an adaptation of another thing where like basically they invite them to have group sex. Okay. And it feels like, okay, so I was like, okay, that makes sense. And I was like, man, are we going to really see all four of them having sex? Like Seth Rogen and Penelope Cruz, Olivia Wilde, Edward Norton, that's going to be nuts. But I would say from the minute that Penelope Cruz and Edward Norton walk in the door, I thought that they were both trying to seduce the other partner of the like couple, because I was like, I just got huge like not predator, like not sexual predator vibes, but like they were on the prowl. They were looking for like, you know, they were trying to. They were on the hunt.
They weren't there for the casual conversation to meet the neighbors.
Yeah, well, I mean, as Edward Norton says so eloquently later, he's like, you know, we really just wanted to see the apartment, guys, and maybe fuck a little bit. It's like just good stuff, but. The fact that like when they walk in, I love so much when they're like, because they're fighting so much before they get there. And that's what I loved about this movie, because I kind of forgot about the foursome bit. And then once they get there and they're really putting out their feelers, I'm like, there's no way this is going to go down because of the tension in this room and because of how sexually like inexperienced it feels like both Seth Rogen and Olivia Wilde are for this. But like, I would say, I think like when they come in and then Edward Norton's like, it took you guys a minute to answer the door. And then they're like, he's like, yeah, we heard you guys fighting. And it's like, you know, are you good? And they're like, well, we were. And then Seth Rogen's like, yeah, we were fighting. And he's like, but you know, so if you don't feel comfortable in a contentious environment, like we could totally do this another time. And I love Edward Norton's response of like, we love a contentious environment. The weirdest possible response. But like, did you also get the predator vibes? Like they were like on the hunt and like kind of, they both seemed like it throughout the first part. Before that, I mean, because that discussion doesn't come up for a bit. Like you go almost halfway through the movie.
I didn't get that vibe until they split up. Until Seth Rogen and Penelope Cruz were smoking a joint, and then Olivia Wilde and Edward Norton were like, they were giving the tour. I'm like, that's what I took my note. I'm like, are they going to try and swing with them? And then sure enough, they did. Because like you then saw the switch of, to a couple that was fighting a lot to like people having fun and being flirty, and Edward Norton's obsession with rugs. And I love when Seth Rogen's like, now I get the interest in rugs and learning everything about them.
I know, it's so great. And then also too, like, because like once he like, because the whole thing that's really the big tension for like a while, the first part is like Seth Rogen is like, I'm gonna tell them that we can hear them have sex. She's like, you better not, which is like so fucking funny. And when they're like they're actually sitting down and like eating the flan or whatever, and he's like,
is it flan or is it flan?
Yes, as he so eloquently asked. But he does say, like, I think at that moment he's like, yeah, I wanted to so I did want to tell you guys about something, talk to you guys. And then she just like shoves it in his mouth. She's like, try this. And then as soon as he starts trying to talk again, because he's like, oh, that's really, really, wow, that's really good. And then he's like, well, anyways, and then she's like, have another bite. She just keeps like stuffing his face. I'm like, feels very relatable. I feel like if your husband's making like just won't shut up, you're like, shut the fuck up. I can't say that right now, but I just loved it. And then like you, like literally throughout the first half, like you also feel like, man, these people really do fucking hate each other, right?
Yeah.
When they find out that Penelope Cruz and Edward Norton are like swingers and that they have group sex and that's all the noises they've been hearing. When she's like, did you want to go get that J? And like, her and Seth, like Olivia Wilde and Seth Rogen like run off. It was great because then like they have this little moment where they're both like laughing and enjoying themselves and like kind of on the same side and like, oh, you knew it. Yeah, I totally knew it. It was like, oh wow, and it's like giggling about the fact that like that's so crazy. Oh my God, this is amazing. We're gonna find out all this crazy shit. I really like Nolan said this again. He was very eloquent with this movie. I feel like it was like something, I don't know. He was so insightful. It was like he was a film critic, but he literally just was saying like about this like section too, like how it feels like we needed that moment when they go and like have that little like sweet almost moment together where they're laughing together and actually like kind of a team. It felt like, and I was like, you're right. We absolutely needed something like that to like kind of have a like root for anything else outside of divorce for the outcome, right?
Totally. Yeah, it's like it reminds me.
It was very important. Yeah.
It reminds me of like a joke one of my favorite comedians, Mike Birbiglia, made, and I'll just shorten it. But essentially it's like you and your partner, you're at an event and you hear someone say something, and then it's so weird. You look at each other and you, without saying it, just with locking eyes, you're like, we're gonna talk about this for the rest of our lives. Like, we're going to talk about this on the way home and beyond. It's like that was that moment personified. Just like, oh my God, we just learned our neighbors are swingers. This is what we're talking about every night now. It was so like, funny. And then when they go in and Olivia Wilde just like locks in and she's like, tell me more. Like, yeah, like
it was both have so many questions, and he's like, we should have more people over. That's what gets said after that. Like, I just love, they're so excited. And she's like, let's go get the J. You want me to help you? Which she was like, don't smoke in the house. I don't like that. All this stuff. Just so great. Her being on the edge of insanity throughout this whole movie is such like a line to ride, and it's so great, and it's so like it's so evident from like when they arrive, like everything about her is just so great. Like when Edward Norton and Penelope Cruz just compliment her and say like we could tell like you poured so much love and care and energy into this place, and she just starts crying. Sorry. this bitch is on the brink of a breakdown, right? Like this is
Oh.
she's about to fucking crack. And I love the like way that she is showing you that she is just so like even just a little off. Like when she gives Edward Norton the tour and like they just cut to like her in the bathroom and she's like standing in the tub.
Yeah. And Edward Norton is just being kind of a dick. He's like, I would have thought this was like an immaculately preserved original bathroom. It's just
No,
like,
he says like this
oh,
is beautiful.
that's what I was going for. Like,
Yeah.
it is such like Edward Norton is one of those actors that I think is on the Mount Rushmore of being like being perfect at being a dick character.
Yeah.
And so
really
like
is.
when he said that, like an immaculately preserved original bathroom is like, this looks really old but like clean. Like,
Yeah. I think it's like I love the fact that like a lot of him and Penelope Cruz, the stuff that they say when they're not speaking in Spanish to each other, which is amazing. Once he starts doing that, you're like, oh my God, he's such a dick. He's so good. I thought from the get-go he was gonna be like a little too much like his character in Glass Onion, the like second Knives Out movie where he played the like Elon Musk billionaire, but like he doesn't go that full, but like I mean his name is Hawk, so I was like I'm ready for like who knows what. But he is such a dick in the right ways. It's like a dick that like isn't necessarily an asshole to you, but you're just like, oh my God, I hate this guy.
I don't know if there's another actor that can ride the line so well between like pretentious and relatable than Edward Norton. Like, like it's actually incredible. Like, you look at me like I want to hate you, but I kind of like you. Like, you're just enough that I like you, but like I can point out how you suck. But like,
totally, he's very much like all these little nuances, that character, and that's why like I think I mentioned to you, or maybe I didn't mention it to you before we watched it, but like the speech that he gives when he explains why he chose changed his name to Hawk, which is like an incredibly like emotional, beautiful story. Good. And he wrote that himself and like just delivered that on the day. And Seth Rogen's reaction where he like makes a joke about it was like 100% like fucking improv. And I was like, of course. God. And as soon as he did that, I was like, fucking of course. I knew that Seth Rogen was gonna make a joke about it, but I was like, damn, that was fucking like impressive that he made such a dark joke after that where he's like, well, I'm sorry your wife died.
Oh,
like,
well,
just so goddamn funny. He's such while he's pantsless on the ground, mind you, he still finds a way to make a joke.
Well, I want to point out, since we're on Seth Rogen's jokes, because I want to talk about Edward Norton and Penelope Cruz, but two of my favorite jokes from Seth Rogen was one when they reveal that they are swingers and they talk about like, oh yeah, there's conferences or meetups, and Seth Rogen's like sandals. They're like, yeah, exactly, like sandals.
Yeah, like at a sandals resort.
I also thought an incredible Olivia Wilde Seth Rogen chemistry comedy was when they were talking about like when they were talking about something like kids, and then like Olivia Wilde says like, I'm gonna miss Maggie. And then Seth Rogen is like, where's she going?
She's 13. What are you talking about?
To college? She's
eventually.
13. Like, eventually. What are you talking?
I know. She's like, I'm just going to be alone. She starts like crying again. You're like, oh boy. It's so great. And then the fact that like they have nothing to drink and the food, like Penelope Cruz doesn't eat any of it. It's just like, honestly, it has all the recipes of like a disaster dinner party. But then it's weird how like it doesn't overplay it where it's too, I mean, it is uncomfortable at times, but I feel like you're so locked in, it's not like it's painful to watch, right?
Yeah.
But those jokes, I mean, anything Seth Rogen says and does and reacts to in this movie, pantsless or not, is incredible. When he danced, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And he gifts.
I'll say between this and Splitsville from last year, the swinger comedy is alive and well. Like, I am so here for future swinger rom-coms. Like,
good representation for swingers, which is something I mean, honestly, what is it? Eyes Wide Shut from Stanley Kubrick and like the
was it? Was that swingers or was that just orgies?
Fuck if I know. I haven't seen it, but it's got Nicole Kidman at orgies. I'd probably watch it. But
But
yeah, you're right. It feels like that's the thing. They're not even portrayed as like they're all like, oh, it's very healthy and like whatever. And it doesn't seem. I mean, it definitely, honestly, in both situations, it kind of like fixes a lot of the problems. So it's kind of a strange. Like I'm like, this is very like we're very like group sex positive in this day and age, which is like great. I love that.
yeah, like how they are saying like consent is the most important thing. You know, like first rule, everyone is consenting. Like then Seth Rogen asking, there was like, what if anyone's left out?
Like what if I
was like
gym class? What if you don't get picked? I'm like, that's every guy's first question.
I was like, Seth Rogen is me. He is the avatar in this scenario for me.
Yeah.
Like, if I was in this scenario, I would have so many questions.
Yeah. Exactly.
But-
I love the Olivia Wilde too when they talk about the menu and then like they start talking about the different things on it. Then she's like DP, and they're like, and she's like, the double penetration, and it's like everyone
we don't play into porn stereotypes.
Yeah, and then she's like, I just think we don't have to judge. It's just like everyone's reaction to it is again like that's the thing you're looking at, and like even her reaction to their reactions, like it's just this movie is so incredible. Honestly, you could do a frame by frame analysis and you would find so much more, but it's like it's fucking gold, all of it.
All right, well, let's talk about Edward Norton and Penelope Cruz. They looked like they were having the time of their life. Like
yes,
like
100%.
It's like, all right, you guys are gonna be the straight people. Like everything's normal, and then Penelope Cruz and Edward Norton, you guys get to be the fun, adventurous swingers. So just like have at it, and they looked like they did. Like Edward Norton's like, all right, I feel like Edward Norton picked his character and then did 3 months of research preparing for it, and then Penelope
Studying
Cruz
rugs,
is like,
probably.
Yeah, like Edward Norton goes method.
And just like the end when he like pops up behind the sofa, like when he shows up with the fucking tea and they're like, get the fuck out of here. Like it's just every little bit about him is just delightful. I think the way that he speaks Spanish is just so douchey. It's incredible. But he's so fucking funny, and I feel like they're both exhibiting this like totally like they're definitely coming on to the other couple. Like you could feel it. But his like whole thing with like when they go through the tour and all of his commentary and response, I love when like they're having this like talk about all the different stuff, and then she's like, can I ask you a question? It's like, I feel like you're gonna be able to help me decide. And you're like, oh shit, is she about to ask him if like she should leave Seth Rogen?
Yeah.
But then it like cuts to it. It's like, oh, she was just asking about the 3 different paint colors. And he was like, and it's like she's like talking about Seth Rogen did, like thought they all look the same. And he's like, is he colorblind?
that scene, I was like 2 of the 3 look the same. The one on the far right looks a little bit different, but
of course they all look very different to me. But I love the fact that he's just like he was just giving off this really incredible energy that's very specific to Edward Norton. Like I don't like maybe a Robert Pattinson could do it. Like I think he's like got that weird zany energy that he could nail that little sweet spot. But like Edward Norton is like obviously if Robert Pattinson is in this movie, this whole movie changes. Like he's so young. But
I love how Edward Norton his Spanish was like it was a lot of tongue because I feel like that was a decision because Penelope Cruz is from Spain, and so like Barcelona, like he did that rather than like a Latino sort of accent.
No, he put an extra air on it, which just
put a lot of tongue
like,
in there.
Exactly. Well, that fits for his character. Someone also called out on Reddit that I thought was funny. I didn't notice this the first time, but they were like, he's so into rugs and has the whole thing, and then he ends up like rug munching Olivia Wilde, and I was like, oh, that's pretty funny. He really does like rugs. Let's see if the carpets match the drapes. That's what he's thinking. The rug, I guess, matches the drapes.
Well, and then I don't know if it was just me because I can't like when I think of Penelope Cruz, I think of like a lot of like more serious sort of roles. She was hilarious when during the whole like food thing, and she's like, oh, I don't I don't eat this. Oh, I don't eat this. I'm a vegan.
Meat,
Like
dairy, sugar,
cheese,
like gluten, cheese. It's
and
like
then she's
what?
just eating olives. Like that's all she's eating. I thought she was hilarious.
She was so good. She was so funny. She looked gorgeous. And she has the exact energy that you're like, when she says she's a sexologist, I'm like, I believe her.
Yeah.
And like the way that Olivia Wilde's like, oh, like she loves your. I'm like, I'm sure I would too. Like if I like just looking at Penelope Cruz and listening to her talk, it's incredible. But I've heard a lot of people mention her performance as like the real MVP of the movie.
Okay.
And I was like, that's very interesting because I think maybe towards the end we should talk about like who do you think like should get nominated? Because like honestly, I'd be down for all four of them, but then it'd be like them all competing at least 2 and 2 against each other would probably cancel out. But I do feel like I feel like everyone here is at the top of their game. And yeah, like the way that I feel like the way that we all know Penelope Cruz is sexy. We know she can deliver all these other things, but like her comedy timing in this movie and her reactions were fucking flawless. And her getting high with Seth Rogen was adorable. And like
if she takes more than one puff, she's going to start counting everything.
I'm like, that's so funny. I'm the opposite. I count things like crazy all the time. And if I smoke weed, it like helps me stop. So I'm like the opposite of her, which is like probably Olivia Wilde's character. Like, honestly, I related a lot more to her where it's like when Seth Rogen's like, don't tell her the Yamon is just like prosciutto. He's like, don't tell her that. If you told her that, she'd probably commit suicide on the dining room table. She could not handle that. I was like, yeah, when like that's how like it feels when you're like hosting a fucking thing like that. You're like, if I did something like all of these mistakes, I would also feel that way. But I read this interesting thing, and like a lot of people kind of were bringing up some like there's obviously a lot of interpretations about this movie, the ending especially, but I saw in an interview with Olivia Wilde that they were asking like, have you seen a theory about where Penelope Cruz and Edward Norton's characters aren't actually there?
At the end, when they just sort of disappear, I was like, are they trying to imply this is all
in your head?
Yeah, sort of thing.
And Olivia Wilde was saying like that was kind of her interpretation, but she's like, I like the fact that this movie is like meant to leave up to all interpretations, which we'll talk about the ending and like how many. I feel like there's like a lot of different ways you can read it, but and I love the fact that like even things like there's a detail I noticed like when Hawk says that his real name is like Howard William Kelly or something.
Howie.
And it's like HWK. So like Hawk, that makes sense. But they don't like spell it out. Like no character mentions that when he says that. And it's like I love that like this movie just it does leave a lot of things up to the actual like viewer to kind of put that together. And I think that's nice. Rashida Jones was one of the co-writers of this movie. And she fucking like nailed it. I know this is an adaptation of another movie that's been done like 7 times already, but in all different languages in different countries because it's a great story. But man, just like the way that this movie is structured, the dialogue, everything that it's like doing and saying is really incredible.
Rashida Jones is one of those people that like I know her from The Office and from
Parks and Rec,
Black AF. Like she's really funny, but then like I forget that she also wrote like one of the most harrowing episodes of Black Mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's a really good writer. And
they also I think her and her writing partner that they also wrote the movie Celeste and Jesse Forever, which I think is like another relationship movie that she did. It's Will McCormack, I think.
Okay.
They co-wrote this movie and then the Black Mirror episode where she starred in it, and then the movie Celeste and Jesse Forever, I think is the name of it. And I haven't seen it, but it's like a rom-com with like her and Andy Samberg. So I want to see that because I've heard people love it. So it sounds like they're 3 for 3. I love this. This was like one of the hottest movies coming out of like the film festivals this year. And I feel like I totally see why, honestly, like with all these things. But I thought it's so interesting that you could even just, I mean, outside of the fact that like Edward Norton goes to the bathroom by himself and he's like in there with nobody else, the movie, outside of that, like it doesn't break that rule, right? Where the characters are always together, like they're not like seen with anybody else or by themselves, like, because then if they're not really there, it's like, well, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Do you think that? I was just wanting to know. Do you think, like, I feel like they were there and that they just left because it was like fucking like awkward, and also maybe like they left them with a really great like advice at the end, and I felt like that's why they disappeared and just kind of left. Like she asked him to wash out the thing, and then they just like took off, and I feel like it was like they were just sneaking away to be like, okay, let's just be out of their hair right now. They got a lot of shit to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think of this like a Christopher Nolan movie where it's like, did this actually end, or is it all a dream?
Or like, were these people like just literally like they are insane and they had conjured them in their own mind? Like they both are like having this shared delusion. Like it feels like a bit of a stretch, but I love the fact that there are ways that you can kind of read it that way.
Well, and to add to the conspiracy theory, I did note that the last thing she said was, can I get my casserole dish? But she brought the flan in the dish. So was it a flan or was it a casserole?
Ooh.
I don't know. But I don't
not lining up. I think it was just the dish was a casserole dish, but it had flan in it.
See, this is showing my cuisine. I don't know.
But again,
I didn't realize that those were two different. I didn't realize that those could be one and the same. I thought they were two different things.
Like they are, but like this is like a casserole dish you can use for things outside of just casserole.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But I see where you're coming from. But honestly, though,
I thought they just left.
Either way, there's a lot of things that could kind of support both sides. And I like the fact that this movie is like treats you like an adult when you watch it. It's not going to be like too trippy to like, oh, what happened? I don't understand. It's not satisfying. It's not like that. It leaves you to like kind of almost like take what you will from the movie, which is really cool. But each like the fact that you can dive in and have these really weird theories about the movie shows that it's like, I mean, it's up there with Obsession. Like it's great. Like there's a lot of like deep dive theories you can do on that. And this one, there's so many things. And I love the fact that this movie is very like not giving you all the answers. Not to say that it is like Christopher Nolan Inception, but like it has a little bit of that in a movie that you would not expect that in.
Yeah, like I think the way that I kind of interpreted the ending of them just sort of disappearing was to kind of be like that feeling that I think everyone's had when like something sort of crazy happens, and then at the end of the night you just look back, you're like, what the fuck happened? Like, how did we get here, sort of thing. And that's kind of how like I interpreted it, which I thought was nice. But man, the end, I loved the ending of this. I thought it was so sweet. And
yeah, let's talk about this, because once they try to swing,
they try to swing, it doesn't go so well. They each get real close, but then Seth Rogen throws his back out. And then they have this whole talk about their relationship and like what makes them happy and communication. And it's like one of those things
they're
where like
blaming each other for all the reasons that they're miserable.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this is getting deeper than I was expecting it to get.
Yeah, 100%. It really does not. It's not funny at any point after that.
Yeah.
And Penelope Cruz kind of sits them down and says the hard thing, which is like, why are you guys how do you even have sex if you're so mean to each other? And that's when they're like, oh, we haven't had sex for a year. And I love Edward Norton like spits out his drink and he's like, oh my God, I'm sorry. I thought you said a year. And he's like, you did say a year? So goddamn good. The way, just great reaction. And you're also like, damn, okay, that makes sense. And her thing of like, we can like, obviously things change and people change and relationships change, but like, you could change to a different person and have a different relationship, or, you could have a different relationship with the same person. But they're like, I think we could all agree that this relationship currently needs to end.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that's a great way of putting it. And I love that gives you like all the ambiguity that you need for this movie, and like why it's so not confirming it, because there is like a few different, there's like the two different paths that they're basically laying in front of them there. Which is like start over with each other. If you really love each other, you can start over fresh and try to have a different relationship with each other and get back to the love that you had, or, divorce and start fresh with new people and be happier co-parenting that way, so that the daughter doesn't Penelope Cruz being like, you think the daughter can't know? Like, you think your daughter
Yeah.
doesn't notice that? She can't feel the tension living here? I'm like, I think we all feel it from the
Yeah.
fucking opening frame. So, God, the daughter definitely feels it. But yeah, I think the way that like afterwards, they both go back to like their separate areas, and he goes to the office and she goes to the daughter's room. And someone pointed out online, I saw a comment that was like, he goes to like the thing that he failed at and like to make, right? And then she goes towards like something like that they created that's like their comfort, right? And they can see each other through the windows, and she sees him in there. And then when he starts playing the piano, I was like, oh boy, like I feel like I got a tear welling up then. And when you see her hand just come into frame, I was like, this is really beautiful. Like,
well, and it brings it back
perfect.
to like the opening credits where they are playing the music together and like laughing and having a good time.
That actually takes place after the very end of the movie. And that's what we're seeing in the opening credits is like them together afterwards. And I was like, oh, see, again, there's like all these little
I was
things in
wondering
this
that. I was
movie.
like, is this one of those things where the beginning is actually the end sort of thing? Yeah,
I'll
it was
back on it later.
it was really good. It was really sweet. It felt like a perfect ending of like this was such an all over the place reality show movie. Like, how do we end this in a satisfying way? And where it does, and we talked about the drama recently. Like, it doesn't tell us exactly what happens, but like it gives us hope that this is going to work out. Like,
either way, I think you have hope. The ending is hopeful no matter how you read it, I think.
Whether
because
that's them together or them,
divorcing,
separating happy.
Agree. Yeah, because it feels like they've come to a place of like peace finally, regardless of if they choose to start a new relationship with each other or not. But I don't know. For me, I choose to believe based on the rest of the movie, and like Nolan called out, like that scene halfway through where they're like together and they're like joking and like happy for like a brief minute when they find out they're swingers. Like that scene, I think really compelled me to like, because it's not like one of them is like a total fuck up and one of them's perfect. Like they're both pretty flawed people.
Yeah.
And yet by the end, I feel like there was enough of that like love spark there for me to like think that they have started afresh in their relationship and are ready to move past it. But like, what did you think? I'm curious.
It kind of reminded me of the other movie we talked about, the Will Arnett, Is This Thing On?
Oh yeah.
And like the final scene of that where they're like, I thought I was miserable in this marriage, but really I was just miserable. And I would rather be miserable with you than miserable without you. You're like, kind of that feeling of like, it's not like, oh, flowers, sunshine and all that stuff, but it's like, we're unhappy, but I'm less unhappy with you. And so I want to figure this out, sort of thing. Like,
yeah, it feels like they have to just like, it's very similar to that. And that like really just admitting it's kind of silly, but it feels like admitting that you have a problem is the first step to healing. And it really feels like that anywhere with no matter what in your life is going on. But like sitting down and being like, okay, like we're unhappy. Why are we unhappy? Let's talk about it. Like basically Penelope Cruz and like Edward Norton, that whole escapade really just makes them forces them to have that uncomfortable conversation. And like, but it feels like one that's been building up for a long time. And then when you like hear a little bit of their backstory and like the song that he wrote about her and like how they like she ran back to the bar when she first met him and like all these little things that like it's like I know it could be like the movie The Breakup, which I was just talking about like a couple last week, saying I love that ending was very surprising. I feel like I could accept the fact that they were going to split up, but still be amicable and like be better off in general with like as a whole. But I don't know. I'm choosing to believe that they end up together because I really did think like, especially when people have such good chemistry when they're fighting, don't you always think like, man, they probably have the greatest sex or like they really must love each other so much because like you really only like hate something as much as you love something sometimes. Not always. Like sometimes you really hate something and never want to fuck it or like want to be in love, like, love it. But like sometimes it's like when you get really, really mad at someone, you're like, it's because I fucking love you. God damn it.
Well, it's like the thing that like this and Splitsville, and then also like is this thing
All the
on
movies we've been talking about the last couple weeks.
Yeah,
And then, it is the thing on.
the thing that like kind of like the moral of the message that I kind of get from all those movies is that like if things are hard, the only way to get through things is by communicating and talking about it. And so often we bottle things up and we don't talk about it, and then it leads to this stuff where like we're not having sex for a year or whatever. And like in all three of those movies, and only two of those movies are about swingers, it takes something to kind of disrupt the norm that forces the conversation. And in two of these movies, it's about swinging. That is like the catalyst to actually talking.
Or it's like getting attacked by people hiding in your house, like last week with Over Your Dead Body. And like that, they were ready to kill each other. Like they were further along than this couple. Like I would buy it if Olivia Wilde and fucking Seth Rogen were in that movie too. They had that kind of energy that I was like, I could see this not working out in the end. Because you're like, yeah, they really are so mean. But like, they really do have this little chemistry. But it's funny, all these movies we've been watching, I feel like this has been exactly the same kind of message though through all of it, but I don't think it diminishes that these movies like all exist. Like I love the fact that that's a message that we're doing in movies, which feels like, honestly, if we need more movies like this, we already have some, but like I like the fact that this is what it is like fucking face the truth and speak the truth. That seems like a basic ass message, but it feels like, especially in this day and age when you can like fucking chat GPT bot, I feel like, or like, text it about fucking. I just feel like this is a message that we need to keep singing out. And like, also this movie being like incredible is just like should be the biggest example of why fuck AI. We don't need that anywhere near this shit. But yeah, I like that these are like the movies. Maybe next week we'll do like something like really like dumb though. Maybe we should do something dumb next because we've been doing a lot of like really, not that they're not fun, but like a lot of relationship
got a little
drama
heaviness.
films. Yeah, let's do like Sharknado or something. I don't know, something crazy. But this was still, I think, in my top 2 movies for the year so far.
Agreed. All right, that's it for the invite. Renee, I feel like this is one of those movies that I'm going to watch like 3 more times this year. Like I'm
at least.
Like I'm just going to have a day where nothing's going on and be like, I want to watch the invite again. Like there's so many
want to as well.
So many lines, so many great moments, so many Olivia Wilde faces.
Literally, like that's what I'm saying. It would be worth it going fucking frame by frame, 1 second at a time, and just really admiring every little frame in this movie. It would be, but God, who has the time?
Oh man, such a great movie. All right, well, we are wrapping up August. We're wrapping up summer, and it would only be wrong, I feel like, if we didn't at least talk about sharks a little bit. So you kind of set it up as we were finishing off the movie. We're just gonna go a little lighthearted. We're gonna go a little stupid with it and have some fun. So Renee, what movies are we watching?
We're gonna be doing a nice little shark double feature for you. First, we're gonna be starting with The Devil's Mouth, which is on Prime Video, and it's included with Prime. It stars Catherine Newton, who's one of our favorite scream queens. And it's basically about a group of friends exploring an underwater cave system in Thailand, and they have to deal with a ravenous bull shark. And then the second one we're going to be talking about is Water Park Shark, which is very much like Sharknado, which is kind of what we were talking about.
It's the same director that brought us Sharknado and all of the sequels.
Perfect. Okay, I've watched only half of this movie so far. I need to go back and rewatch the whole thing. But it is really ridiculous. They're taking water slides and the sharks are getting people. It's hilarious. It's just really, really ridiculous. It's very bad. But that, like, most of the cast, I would say, like, at least understands, like, that they're in a dumb, bad movie.
Yeah.
Not all of them. And you're, like, desperately just wanting to, like, fucking slap them to tell them, like, come on, stop it. But I would say like The Devil's Mouth is definitely not the best shark movie by a mile too. It's like definitely not as good as the 47 meters down Uncaged where they're in caves. I feel like that one's like got some better shark action and
that's
stuff.
that's gonna be interesting because I did not care for that movie. The first one had its moments. The second one I was like, this is what are we doing here?
This one's
So
okay.
I at least believe in Catherine Newton to bring it above.
She's really the one thing that I would say like elevates this movie. Without her, this movie would be pretty shitty. It also has like one of the most annoying friends in the history of cinema. Like the group is really not that great, but yeah, it's a fun one to talk about, and I think we'll just probably be shitting on it and probably be like, you know what, Water Park Shark is at least like breaking new ground here. They're doing something different. Like we'll probably have a lot more positive things to say about that one, but like at least Catherine Newton looks great in a bikini. So
That's true. I just remember you texting me, hey, have you heard of this movie Water Park Shark? And I just thought, excuse me, what did you say?
I was like, don't you judge me, okay? I hear about every shark film and I barely mention them to you anymore unless they're really noteworthy. And I will talk about this, but Water Park Shark, I saw a clip and I saw the name and I was like, I have to see this. So I mean, now you have to too, everybody. That's my punishment is now gonna be your punishment.
I love Sharknado, so I'm on board with this. It's also, I feel like, very appropriate because here in Washington, our big water park is shutting down. So this is how we send it off. But
yeah, with giant sharks. Maybe they'll let the sharks play there now.
There we go. But all right, well, that's it for this week. We'll see you next week on the regular exclusive podcast.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. We out here.